Here from Ogasawara, village in Ogasawara Subprefecture, Tokyo Metropolis, Japan, that governs the Bone-In Islands, Volcano Islands, and 3 remote islands. Here in the middle of the North Pacific, we're here today with Sparkling Tuna Cup, number 25. That's a 2 and a 5. That's reversed. 5 is a reverse 2. I'm, of course, your host, Yakuzaku, and with you today is La Pizza Sarilista que maneja las bolas de matza. Like, underscore VIP. How are you doing, Light?
Sí, papi, manejo todos los bolas, papi. We are here. We are back with Sparkling Tuna Cup number 25. It is great to be back, Yaku, once again with another, honestly, pretty stacked bracket. Like, every single time, we're rocking up and it's like, oh my god, there are so many great players. There are so many beautiful players. And 2 of them are right here.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get used to how stacked these brackets are. But we're getting there. And we do have a treat to begin with. A very wild... I can't believe that this was the map that we're starting on. And we out for a TvZ anyway. We are here on Waterfall. We're in the top right-hand quarter of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand quarter. We have the red Terran player who is also proxying 2Rex. Told you it was going to be wild. He is going to be representing Prep Esports. He is from Korea, HonMonO.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we have the other South Korean player, the South Korean Zerg player himself, representing Clan Inito. I don't know. It is 3point.
It's like finito.
Finito. Well, I mean, we'll see if this is going to be his final game here, as HonMonO is going for a 3x. If you are unfamiliar with HonMonO, then clearly you have not been watching the Cranky Duckling broadcast, because we have been featuring him quite a bit over the past couple of months. I can kind of say the same for 3point. He's also one of the more aggressive Zerg players, but this game he did go for a hatch gas pool,
which is once again completely surprising to me, especially since we're on such a Terran favorite map like Waterfall. Actually, maybe because it's Terran favorite, 3point might not have expected HonMonO to proxy right off the gate, but here we are. Marine is rocking up along with 3 SCVs to build bunkers and repair.
Yeah, exactly. The bunkers are on the way. Boys are being pulled already here by 3point. What's important is that this is a 3-Rax, or proxy 3-Rax, so this is obviously pretty committed, especially compared to, say, something like a 2-Rax. Instead, the boys are being pulled, and so far he is able to zone away the Marines from that bunker.
Yeah, HonMonO, forced to retreat, not kiting as well as he could, but now he's in a choke point, and I think 3point committed a little bit too much in this defense. I say that, but yeah, no, he definitely committed too much in this defense.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, typically when we have a proxy 3-Rax, like, you don't need to pull the boys. You don't necessarily even need to protect your natural base, but 3point opted to try and do it, to try and go for it, and as a result, he has lost a lot of drones.
Yeah, 7 of them already. Now, on the one hand, HonMonO himself is very committed to this, so this is damage that he needs to get done, but you never want to give away a lead like that.
Yeah, and this may just be too much. Every Ling went down, 2 Queens went down as well. We have a couple of Lings that are trickling in as well, but it's too much, too little, too late. GG gets called, and HonMonO takes game number 1.
This is, this is making out to be a very quick series by the way game number 1 is shaping up.
Yeah, which we kind of expected, but I'm on your side here when it comes to. I'm surprised that that 3point didn't just go for a hatch first build against HonMonO, which, like, these guys, they play with each other quite a bit. They know about each other, like 3point, HonMonO, you know, Stephen Curry, Lunacy, all these guys are all like in the same circle of friends, so they know how each other plays. On top of that, pulling all the boys the way that he did, I do think that 3point thought it was a proxy 2-Rax instead. I don't think he was really anticipating the amount of Marines, the amount of commitment that HonMonO had.
Yeah. But it was game number 1. You know, even though you do practice against each other quite a bit, you know, you never really know how your opponent's feeling on the given day. So yeah, maybe 3point just wanted to suss HonMonO out and remembered, oh right, it's HonMonO. He wakes up and he chooses violence. Well, let's hope he's a little bit more let's hope he has something a little bit more prepared for game number 2.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Like, honestly, this is a pretty brutal round 1 match. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket. But for threepoint and HonMonO to face each other in the same round at the start of the tournament, it's rough. These two players, they could potentially make it all the way to the semis. HonMonO even 2 weeks ago made it all the way to the grand finals. Like, these are amazing players in their own right. But to face off so early, to face off in such a brutal bracket without a lower bracket, like, god, it's it's this Sparkling Tuna Cup, it's pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, we're getting more stacked, and the more stacks we add, the more likely the structure is to fall. I don't know what analogy was going.
Jenga.
Anyway, yeah. Like Jenga. Actually, yeah. If you think about it, the brackets look a little bit like Jenga. Anyway, we are now moving on to inside and out. We're here in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Seren player coming down from the land of South Korea and is currently in Japan. He is representing Prep Esports. He is HonMonO.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, doing something that we are more familiar with, going for a gas first opener. We have the South Korean Zerg player. He is blue. It is threepoint.
A lot safer this time, but still keeping his options open by mining gas right off the bat.
Yeah, a much more aggressive turn of events here for threepoint, prioritizing that gas as HonMonO goes for a CC first.
Yeah. This is his very first Rax. Now, maybe it's mind games. Maybe he knows threepoint is going to scout him, see the Rax building over there, and think, oh, I need to check for proxies.
This is the TVP. This is not how this works. Oh my god. Okay, so
this is TV copium.
This is a ZV copium. What are you talking about? Oh my god. So a couple of things going on right now. One, we have continued gas mining. Sorry. So this is going to be a very committed rush. Obviously, it's not like a one-base or or anything like that. But from here, we can go into a Bailey Nest. We can go into a Roach Warren. Like again, threepoint is looking to be hyper aggressive, and HonMonO off of going for a proxy 3-Rax in the last game. Oh my god. Before Reaper, before Marine, he's going Tech Lab as well. He's crazy.
This man has no fear. He should have fear, but he has no fear. Completely. He has absolutely no idea what his opponent's doing across the map, and he decides, I don't need army units. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. That's when I'll build my first Marine.
Shaking my head. It's Marine coming out first. The Lings are already here. We have an SCV scout. Finally, HonMonO gets eyes on the natural base. He now knows, oh my god, this was a pull first opener. Lings are already here. Now, to be fair, you know, the CC is done. It's not going to be denied. We already have a full wall up, but oh my god, no, the wall's on the wall!
Yeah, I was going to say for a sec, I like the body blocking using the Mule and the SCV, even though it's a little bit costly, but hey, you know, the Marine was able to shoot forward and block these Zerglings into a bit of a choke point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now the Lings are stuck in the main base, but it was a gas first build, so Ling speed is already finished up, which means these Lings have micro to their heart's content. They dive immediately on top of the second Marine, and it looks like the Marine will get picked off as well. Behind this, we have a Ling Flood and a Bane Bust.
Yeah, I really like the drone drilling that HonMonO is doing right now, but it's delaying the inevitable. These Lings, unless threepoint isn't, you know, looking, shouldn't be going down. Now they're going down, but they're very easily replaced.
Yeah, the Lings are already here. The bunker will not finish. Banelin's going to roll on in, looking to try and crash on into this depot. Maybe they may not even need to. They can go either straight for the mineral line or just focus down the stim. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of these SCVs bunch up right now, Light. Even though these are slow baits, the SCVs are running out of room to maneuver. GG is called. Inito threepoint wins that game number 2.
Wow. GG, well played.
Complete dynamic switch.
Yeah, we're going to the ace match, and as you said, how the tide turns, man. When threepoint ramps up the aggression, but to be fair, HonMonO was being ultra greedy. Like, you never see that. You never see a CC first. Behind that, we have a Rax into Tech Lab, and then a second Rax. It's like, oh my god, just the greed was crazy.
It was insane.
And
on Inside and Out, no less, a map that is one of the more popular ones in the current pool to just all in right off the bat.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. So if you're in the chat and if you're a Terran, if you're watching this, do not play like HonMonO. Do not go for that kind of opener because that was crazy. You only do that sort of stuff in a tournament. So you were talking about mind games, and I do believe 100% that especially after proxying in game 1, he assumed that 3-point was going to be hyper safe and hyper defensive, and maybe just go for just a pull first, you know, like a safety pull first opener, just to make sure he's able to expand and actually get into the mid game. He was not anticipating the hyper aggression from his Zerg opponent.
If we're gonna get anything out of the series, I think it's really going to determine who has the big brain amongst these two players. Who falls for the mind games, who sets up the better mind games.
It's either who has the biggest brain or who has no brain, because I think both could work.
Who has a brain cell today?
Yes, and who is going to
Whose
aid?
turn is it?
Let's find out.
As we conclude our best of 3 TvZ, it hasn't even been 15 minutes, I think, since this series has started. We're going to finish it up on Moondance. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player, currently in Japan, originally from South Korea, representing Prep Esports. He is the, I almost said honorable Terran, because, you know, Han, but I think another title is a bit more fitting. He is HonMonO.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself.
Oh.
He is purple. Oh my god. Going for a hatch first. It is 3-point.
I guess the cheeses are a little bit off the table for the ace match.
Yeah, for now. Oh my god. And yeah, we'll kind of see where this takes us. As we get into this, I want to give a massive shout out to both Asher Bro and Babylings in the chat, because during the waiting screen, during the countdown timer, they both did resubscribe. Thank you.
Woo! How many months is that?
Quack. Asher resubbed for 7 months and Babylings for 4 months. So thank you so much for the support. We couldn't do it without you guys. As
those subs will go directly into Jin Ramen.
They will. Directly into feeding the ducks in the pond. Yes. All the ramen. But so far, yeah, we have a much more standard opener, especially for our Zerg player here. Hatch gas pool, so we're back to normalcy on Moondance, at least when it comes to our Zerg. But okay, switches things up a little bit here, going for sixlings, I guess, just trying to be ultra safe.
Yeah, it can definitely intercept a Reaper coming his way. It can also go across the map and have a higher chance of scouting critical information pretty early on. Nice catch and drone here by HonMonO.
Yeah, exactly. 3-point was going to try and take a third base at a regular time, but HonMonO guessed correctly. He went to the triangular third. He got here just in time, and now 3-point has to either take another base, take another expansion, and yeah, that is exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, may as well. It does mean that if he wanted to go aggressive originally, then this linear third base will discard shot a little bit, but it doesn't really matter as long as you get the third base without too much of a delay.
Yeah, obviously HonMonO has to make sure that there is a third, because he could have just triggered a 2-base all-in, forcing the delayed third base, so he has to rotate around, and he does check the linear third. Okay, now he can rest easy knowing that it's for the most part a macro opener.
Those are some of my favorite ZVTs to watch. When the Zerg player snaps, it's like, I wanted to play macro, dude, but you forced this to happen.
Yeah.
I don't like it when I'm the Terran player in that scenario. But it's hilarious to watch.
It is. It's great. It's great to see. It's great to watch. But of course, 3-point isn't doing that. Again, for the most part, he's just droning up here as much as he can, getting into a regular game. Behind this, HonMonO went 1-1-1, not into a third CC. So yeah, just doubling down and throwing down 2 more Raxes.
Yeah, going to be a little bit more aggressive with this, trying to go for as crisp of a timing as possible, it seems.
Oh yeah, as he finally does go for the add-on switch as well. I think the most interesting thing about this, by the way, and the way that this is all structured, is that he's prioritizing something more along the lines of tank production, not so much his upgrades like stim. So yeah, HonMonO, he's going to be having a decent amount of tanks relatively quickly.
Yeah, that will cover all of his bases pretty much. I think on Moondance, if you're getting the 4 third base instead of the pocket, you pretty much need 3 tanks at the minimum, I believe, just to cover the entrance points.
Yeah. I guess what I'm really looking at here, though, is whether or not he's like making these tanks defensively, or if he does plan on actually taking a third base, or if it's more along the lines of he wants to build up that tank count for a strong push. The longer this goes on without a third CC, the more likely it is to just be a 2-base all-in. Would he pull the boys in ZVT?
You know what? Most players probably won't because of Banelings. But I don't see a Baneling nest right now. And HonMonO hasn't seen a Baneling nest yet.
True. There you go, mate. There you go. I mean, why not? Why not pull the boys? We'll see if we get there. For the time being, 3-point. I mean, you pointed out something very, very well, and that is the fact that 3-point is being a little bit greedy by skipping the Baneling nest. He's going for 1-1 upgrades. He's working for very limited scouting information. He saw the Hellion, so he knows about the 1-1-1 opener, so he knows that he can be a little bit greedy, but he hasn't gone into the main base. He doesn't know whether or not there is an expansion. And
as a matter of fact, there isn't one. The additional 400 minerals is being pumped directly into Marines and tanks and medevacs. Stim already about a third of a way done. Only a single eBay for this push, so yeah, HonMonO is prioritizing everything into the attack. He even gets a 5th and a 4th barracks before a 3rd base.
Yeah, I don't think there is going to be a 3rd base, mate. I think he's going to go for one big 2-base all-in. He's going to go for a bit of a drop 4 now. The follow-up push is going to hit with upgrades, with +1, with stim, with combat shields, with everything else. But he's at least going to be a little bit active here with his drop.
Now this, of course, is a little bit of a double-edged sword here, because if 3-point is able to pick off a couple of Marines before HonMonO can really get his push going, that's going to give him a huge defensive advantage, but that's kind of hard to do when you only have Lings and Queens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Lings are still on the way. We also have working with without Baneling speed, as the lair is just about to finish up. So 3-point things are going to be a little bit risky here before that happens. Stim is about to finish up in a couple of seconds, and here comes that push.
Yeah, HonMonO being very conservative with his infantry. Only right at the last second. He's not losing too much here as the rest of his army meets up with his drop.
Yeah, exactly. The tanks are sieging up here on the edge of creep again. Baneling speed just started, by the way. Without Baneling speed, I don't really see a way that 3-point can engage off of creep. HonMonO is taking a 3rd base on location behind this, but it is going to be the pocket base, so not going to be as useful. There isn't as many resources to really take advantage of that. This push needs to deal more damage.
Yeah, HonMonO is really banking on this game, not continuing for too much further. Massive Ling run by here, catches so many reinforcements. Good use of the choke point. He is able to keep the tech there alive. Nice bit of juggling there.
Oh my god, but at the same time, the Ling actually gets into the pocket base somehow, some way. 3-point gets a scout up. He confirms there is a 3rd CC, so 3-point can feel comfortable, not just droning up, but also investing in some tech. 2-2 just now gets started. He can invest, he can get a 4th base, he can get a macro hatch. He knows that, again, he doesn't have as much pressure on him.
Yeah, especially since the run by actually brought a lot of the Marines here for HonMonO back. Finally, they've made their way back across the map, but yeah, I feel like that was the time to attack for HonMonO.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of, another run by the wall is a wall, but the Banelings crash on in. Now the Lings are just gonna rush into that middle. Oh my god!
SCVs was super bunched up. That's actually fewer SCVs than I thought those Banelings would get, but still, 17 SCVs, 18, 19, more than an entire mineral line, and even the 3rd base is in a lot of trouble.
Oh my god, exactly. I love this little cute move here. HonMonO does have vision. He does spot both Banelings that are morphing in. This is not a ZVZ, but regardless, the damage has been done, and HonMonO, he unsieged and he pulled everything back home.
Yeah, I feel like the initial window of opportunity has been lost right now for HonMonO, and he is well aware of that. So he's just trying to regroup with the next stage of his tech involving Liberators.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Choice.
I mean, we have 6 tanks and we have 2 liberators on the field right now. Like, the army of HonMonO is still looking pretty comparable to that of threepoint. Like, his army supply is looking quite healthy here, so he can still potentially end the game, especially because threepoint does have a lot more supply across the map.
And especially since Terran supply is a lot more efficient than Zerg supply in general. threepoint being a little bit indecisive here, but he is going to commit to this run by. That, however, I think it's just going to prompt the all-in right now for HonMonO.
Yeah, exactly. He knows everything is on fire back at home. He has to just end the game with this push. And again, he still has so many tanks, so many Marines. He can still just force his way into that natural base. For the time being, he's being a little bit close here, a little bit careful with his army. Meanwhile, again, everything at home is a little bit on fire.
He's actually drawing a lot of these lings into liberation zones. There's a nice little move. He unsieged all of his tanks!
Okay.
Oh, but there's no Balins to take advantage of this.
He unsieges all of his tanks, which is a little bit crazy, but here we go. threepoint, he's pulling the trigger.
And a lot of the tanks are actually focused on the Queens and the Lings instead of these Banelings. And there's still plenty more supply where that came from for threepoint. HonMonO forced to pick up, and now he doesn't have much of an army. He has even less of an economy. threepoint, however, sitting on a very healthy 65 supply of workers.
Yeah, exactly. We have 4 bases up and running. We have the macro hatch as well. The drop is doing some damage, don't get us wrong. Trading incredibly efficiently here against the Lings and the Queens. But, I mean, oh my god, even target firing the Banelings.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He needs to do a lot more than that, but a nice little maneuver that he's got here. I love the way he's using these liberation zones.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough.
Exactly, like it's not enough to keep anything alive here in the main base. Meanwhile, that drop is still going ham. It looks like he may get a kill on this hive. It's a hive, by the way, so it's pretty insane. But what else can he really do here?
He can GG out and give the 2-1 victory to threepoint over here. What a slam dunk.
I don't know if that's how 3 points work. I don't think that's how 3 point work. 3 points work, but
no, three point is much further back. You have to shoot from a long distance.
Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to threepoint. Again, HonMonO just investing so much into this 2 base all in. He was trying to get a third behind it to get it strong. But we saw that he was never able to really hit the timing that he wanted to, because whenever he pushed out, there was just a run by, just forcing him back, forcing his attention back at home.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where you get a third base, but you're not really planning on using it.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, you know, my initial push didn't work out, so I'm obligated to get a third. But, I mean, I'm not going to mind. I'm going to stop making SCVs anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? threepoint was able to correctly identify that. His scouting was insane. Again, his Ling scout into that third base was pretty crucial as well, just to let him know that he could be a little bit more greedy. They could get away with a little bit more of an economy as well. And yeah, just really, really tight decision making in the end. There was definitely a period where I thought, oh god, like, is he sending too much across the map? Is that going to be his downfall? Nah, mate, it was fine.
Yeah. Totally fine. I guess in the end, that also, I wouldn't say it's mind games in the end, but it was attention that I think threepoint was really able to make use of. Because, like as you were saying, every time threepoint sent half his army across the map, that could have been an opportunity for HonMonO to just push in with the rest of his forces, siege his tanks up a little bit closer, spread out his marines a little bit better. But in the end, I think HonMonO was a little bit more focused on defending the run-bys as opposed to pushing on forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree there. And unfortunately for our Terran brethren, we do have to say goodbye to HonMonO here for the tournament. He is knocked out. Again, massive congratulations to threepoint. You know, HonMonO, he's hit second place before in Sparkling Tuna Cups, mainly off of TvT and TvP, to be fair. But yeah, threepoint really kind of having a great comeback here, because it's been a while since we've seen threepoint.
Yeah,